is Danny Flexon here for Seconds Out. Delighted to be joined by Portsmouth light heavyweight Joel McIntyre. Joel, how you doing?
Very well, mate. Yeah, and you all right?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. You returned to the ring after nearly 3 years out, late last year. Only got 30 seconds in the bag, so you can still punch, clearly.
Well, yeah, it was all right, wasn't it? I mean, 30 seconds. It was that comeback was a year in the making, so it was a year and 30 seconds, basically.
Yeah, well, if you look at it like that, then it's good. Why were you out for so long? Why was it? I know the pandemic, obviously, but why nearly 3 years?
I'd retired, mate. I'd packed up. I'd done enough. I'd had enough, mate.
What caused you to pack it in, and what brought you back?
Well, I was just fed up with the sport, mate. I fell out of love with it, to be honest. If I'm completely honest, I mean, I don't need to go too much into but politics and anticlimaxes, letdowns, fights falling through. Just got to me, mate. Just got to me, and it was taking its toll on the family.
And with all that in mind, then, why did you make the decision to come back?
Because the love came back for it, mate. The love came back. I'll be honest with you, I felt like I was missing out. It was a little bit of a different game when I started, and it was sort of case of seriously. No, it was a case of basically I'd fallen out of love with it, mate, and coming back, I was kind of missing out on what I don't know, really, man. If I'm honest, it's what I do best, and I feel like I was wasted.
And are you working at the same time as training now, or are you able to be full-time training?
No, I'm working, but I mean, I'm able to take some time off this close to a fight. I mean, no disrespect to the opponent, it's a little bit of a routine one, but it is a case of keep busy, and we're building some other things like behind the scenes as well.
And they, like I said, you got rid of that guy in 30 seconds last year. They brought in a much bigger lump for you this time around. Someone you're still expected to beat comfortably, but maybe will give you a few more rounds.
Yeah, I mean, ideally, but I mean, like I say, people keep saying to me, "Oh, make sure it lasts longer than 30 seconds this time." I said, "Do you know what? If I can do it in 10 seconds, I'm gonna, because I'm not interested in taking it. I haven't got any time to waste, quite frankly." And I felt like my comeback was nice. I mean, I didn't get the rounds as in the actual rounds, the fighting rounds, but in bottom line, man, it was a good, impactful comeback. We didn't know it was a totally unknown quantity. The kid was 4-0. I think he was 3 knockouts, or maybe even four knockouts. It's Israeli guy. We didn't know what we was up against. You know what I mean? So it was just a case of you see the shot, you got to take it. And yeah, it was a quick night out last time.
And this one's obviously on Saturday in your hometown. BoxRec have got you listed as another fight lined up in July against Chad Sugden. Is that accurate?
Yes. So yeah, I mean, it's not really a secret. It's a case of putting that to the board. There's a vacant English light heavyweight title, which I've been pretty vocal about that I want back. I mean, I had that title before. I didn't defend it successfully. I lost it on my first defense. And so I think it's ideal to get that back first before I do anything else. And then we'll move from there, basically.
I'm guessing you must really want to win that British title. You've never fought for it, although you have held the English. You fought for the English a number of times. You've held it in the past. It'll be great to get it back, but I'm guessing British titles something you feel like you want to win.
Yeah, that's that belt, isn't it? That's just that nice bronze belt. It's true that you don't really get you don't get an easy fight for the British title. I wouldn't say you get an easy one for really any title, to be fair, but depending on which level you're at. But British, they're always proper fights. Always proper fights. Obviously domestic as well, and it's just they're tough lads. These guys from it could be from obviously anywhere in the British Isles, and there's always tough guys, and they're always big fights. I know it's definitely something I can achieve. I know it's not going to be easy, but that's part of the reason why I want to go and get it.
What do you make of the domestic scene now, particularly compared to what you left behind 3 years ago?
It's very active. There's a lot going on. I mean, well, not to say a lot going on, but there's a lot of names in there. I think you got the top 10. I'd say that anyone in the top 10, they're kind of, it's these WBA titles, these sort of like titles to get ranked in there by the WBA, WBC or whatever. Not necessarily interested in the British and the Commonwealth and things like that. But then that was always my aim to do when I first started. Go Southern Area, English, British, and maybe Commonwealth, maybe European. And I think they're still credible titles. They're just maybe not got the glitz and the glamour as the other titles. And, you know, not necessarily going to get you straight into the world WBA, WBC, whatever ranking. But they're proper. You know, there ain't no easy fights like that. You always see these guys, and you know, some pretty unknown guy from France or something got this European title or whatever way. Yeah, I'm just saying, just randomly, for example. Yeah. And then you might get a young British like prospect come to fight him. No one's ever heard of him. Probably think it's going to be a walkover, and then always tear up. You know, you have them fights, and I've got a lot of respect for those belts. You know, English, obviously. I mean, if this one happens with Chad, then I know it's going to be a good fight. You know, I've got respect for that guy, and just respect for anyone I come against, really. But I'm very focused right now, and I've got some serious making up to do. You know.
I do want to ask you about some of the, I'll say domestic light heavies in that they're British, but they're virgin on world level now. You've got quite a big fight coming up between Joshua Buatsi and Craig Richards next month. They're two of the top British light heavyweights at the moment. What do you make of that fight?
Very interesting fight. Very interesting fight. I mean, it's going to be a big, I'll rate them both. Buatsi's one of those, he's kind of the golden boy or whatever, but got a lot of respect for him. Very humble man. By the looks of it, you know, I've never met him. Very skilled fighter. Craig Richards again, also very, very good, and I think it's going to be that fight for Buatsi to prove that he is good enough to move on if he beats him. You know, and it's one of those. It's kind of, he's got to prove that he's good enough. Craig Richards is just standing there, you know, in his way. And it's a very interesting fight, I think.
Out of the kind of consensus top 4 British light heavyweights at the moment, so those two that we just mentioned, plus Callum Johnson and Anthony Yard, who do you make as the best out of those 4?
Callum Johnson, I mean, he's one that was back when I was first starting. He was there, you know, but never active. I don't know if he had contract troubles or what. But he was always definitely a big, strong lad, puncher, but never active. So there was always a strange thing there. See, Yard's got some skills and obviously very strong. Another big name. I feel like just everyone needs to be a lot more active, you know. And I mean, I can say that now I know where I am, but I've been really pushing at the start of this year to try and get that vacant title, like to get the shot at it. And it's just not happened. I was expecting to maybe get named for that in January. I was fingers crossed, and it was optimistic, but I was looking for it. And it's very hard to match me as I am. You know, like I say, we've got this big lad who I'm fighting next, big cruiserweight, because I'm very hard to match. We have been we've been looking for that. You know, I've been trying to keep active. I mean, I know time isn't on my side right now, but I feel like I'm only, I look after myself, I look after my body, and I feel like I'm only getting better, to be fair. So I just think everyone needs to be a bit more active. I don't know if it's politics or whatever it is, but it's always the way, isn't it? I mean, it's not easy to just put a show on here and there, but I think if everyone was a lot more active, you'd have a lot better competition in any division, to be fair.
You mentioned before that you work at the same time as training. What do you do for a living?
I was doing roofing. I've been doing roofing for like 2 years. It's kind of a thing that where I'm from. I'm from obviously Portsmouth, but then there's Lee Park, where we're from, our council estate. There's more roofers in there than there are rats. I'm sure there are. There's so many of us, and I'm only late to it. You know what I mean? I'm very late to it, but no, it's a great profession. Really, it's hard. You know, hard. There's a lot of hard men around our area. We got just to name drop a couple. Mickey Parker, who's just won this BKB world title. You know, whatever you think of that, that is what it is. But that's a hard man, you know. And these are the type of people that come from where I come from, and yeah. So that's the sort of that's what I have been doing. But I'm looking to sort of go back into the full time again. I was full time before, but then sometimes I feel like you can be a little bit idle by being full time at boxing, because you know, there is a lot of just living the life is boxing. You get up in the morning, eat your breakfast, go to the gym, train, go back, sleep. You know, it's a bit like living like a baby, really. Sleep,
Yeah.
train, repeat. It is, and you can get idle. And I feel like I did before, and it was kind of my little bit of my downfall. I didn't have my feet firmly on the ground. You know, I sort of feel that one of my downfalls was before. But yeah, that's history, man. And the work will take a back seat. The boxing is number one. I'm in that position where I can do that if I need to. But until then, I'm just trying to keep myself busy, you know.
And just tell us where you're training and who the head trainer is.
I'm where I am right now, Space Camp. It's a big gym in Hillsey, just on the outskirts of Portsmouth.
Okay.
So I've got Darren Wiseman as my trainer. I've got Dave Birmingham, who's an ex-Pompey pro, Portsmouth footballer. He's doing my strength and conditioning. And yeah, like I say, Darren Wiseman, who's had a very successful amateur gym that he was running up until not so long ago. He's kind of gone full-time with the pros now. Darren's son Liam is on that show as well on Saturday. So that's going to be exciting. Yeah, and that's where we're at.
And you got a family, you were saying earlier. How many kids you got?
I got one little boy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's 12. He's no problem. He's a good kid.
Has he picked up the gloves yet?
Do you know what? Funny enough, he had 2 white collar fights. Well, not white collar. Yeah, I mean unlicensed. I think he was about 9 at the time, maybe 9 or 10.
All right.
He actually had 2 fights in one night. He sort of got the promoter out of a little bit of problem because someone didn't turn up to the show, so they called on him and said, "Do you want to fight again tonight?" Like, I just looked at him like, "Do you want to fight?" You know, yeah, I'll fight. He had 2 fights in one night, and he won them both. I mean, although there was no sort of, you know what I mean, no winner.
Yeah.
I feel like he won them, and he enjoyed it. But have I been able to get him back in the gym since? Have I? Mate, no chance. He just don't want to know now. I always say he's a lover, not a fighter. But that's his art. He's a good boy. He's more likely to be like a chef or something like that. He's a good cook. He loves basketball. He plays basketball. But he doesn't need to follow me, man. I was only a fighter because I was an angry young man. Do you know what I mean? With no father about, and he's got everything he needs, mate. He doesn't need to do that.
What makes you still motivated then at the age you are and the fact, like you said, you were an angry young man, you're not anymore, now you're a nice family man. What keeps you motivated to do it and to train every day?
Oh mate, do you know what, Dan? I just love it, mate. And do you know what? Like I said, I was doing the roofing for a while. I was working with my pal, who's he's one of the best roofers around, like I said, in the area. I know it sounds a bit daft and that, but no, seriously, like proper top boy, yeah, really good at what he does. And I genuinely was just looking at him and thinking, mate, your trade is that. You're a roofer and you do that trade and you do it very, very well. You know, and I was looking at myself and thinking, what do I do well, man? You know what I mean? What exactly? I ain't got no trade until I sort of realised that, like, this is my trade. You know what I mean? This is what I do best. I am still learning. and I am still fit, still hungry. Like I say, I had the time out. I realised sort of, maybe it's just like it's like that toy that the kids don't want to play with a toy until they see another kid playing with it.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, I'm missing out here. I'm missing out. But no, it took, like I say, I had to do about a year training to come back, just to make sure I could do it, just to make sure I wasn't going to go, oh no, 2 months in, plod this. And it's still there. The hunger's there, and it's only getting more by the day. And I do like it. I just like a tear up. That's it, really. I just like fighting.
Now, just before I let you go, just tell people how they can find you on the different social media platforms so they can keep up with what you're doing.
Yeah, you can search me on them. I'm mostly active on Instagram. I've got on Facebook. You can search me for my name on there. Best to search my name on Instagram, and I'm on there. I'm active. Got plenty of content on there. It's really good. That's about it, really. That's about it. And obviously fighting on the April on Saturday, April 16th.
Great stuff.
And that's a local one in Portsmouth, South Cray Pier.
Well, very best of luck with that. I don't think you're going to need it, to be honest, having looked at the records and stuff. But he is a big lump, so maybe you make a statement and get him out of there. But then Chad Sugden, that'll be the big one.
Yeah, that's it. That's definitely it. Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, it's on Saturday. I can't afford to just beat those guys. I could beat them on points, shut out. But that's not good enough. It's just not good enough at this stage. So, it's no secret I'm going to be trying to get them out there nice and early.
Great stuff. All right, we'll look forward to that. And let's catch up again before the Sugden fight.
Yes. Okay, then.